very good evening. Welcome to State of Business on Art Television. I'm Ashinsani Veerasinghe. Let's have a look at the headlines for today. COVID-19 positive cases goes up to 50. However, government says the spread of the virus is satisfactorily controlled. Legal actions will be taken against former ministers Rajitha Senaratne and Sarath Fonseca for making false statements, the officials say. News in detail. Health Minister Pavitra Wanyarachi announced that the total number of COVID-19 positive cases went up to 50 by this evening. Minister Wanyarachi made these remarks addressing the media at the National Operations Centre for Prevention of COVID-19 Outbreak at Rajagiriya this evening. Addressing the media, Health Minister Pavitra Wanyarachi said that government has decided to completely ban any kind of leisure trips and pilgrimages during these days as the number of positive cases has gone up to 50 by today. She also added that police will take stern actions against such individuals. Adding further, she said that the government will not go for a lockdown situation in the country as the highest number of population live on daily earnings. Meanwhile, Director General of Health Services Dr. Anil Jasinghe said that private hospitals will also be allowed to carry out the PCR test to know whether any individual is positive with the COVID-19. Dr. Jasinghe added that the permission was given under strict regulations and the private hospitals have to provide the report within 24 hours and they also cannot charge more than 6,000 rupees for a test. He added that the private hospitals have also been informed to provide all the details of such tests, whether the reports were negative or positive. Dr. Jasinghe also added that Sri Lanka will also introduce exit health tests for all the passengers at the airport for the first time in Sri Lanka. Meanwhile, DIG Ajit Rohana speaking to the media said that the government decided to impose police curfew in the Puttalam district and Kochikade police division in Negombo from this evening. The curfew will be enforced in 11 police divisions in Puttalam, 7 police divisions in Chilau and the Kochikade police division in Negombo. Accordingly, the police divisions of Puttalam, Anamaduwa, Kalpitiya, Karuwalagaswawa, Mundalama, Nawagathegama, Pallama, Vanathavilluwa, Udappuwa, Norachole, Saliyawawa, Chilau, Dankotuwa, Koswatta, Madampe, Maravila, Vennappuwa, Arachikattuwa and Kochikade in Negombo Police Division are under curfew from 4:30 p.m. today. Army Commander Lieutenant General Shavendra Silva, who is also the head of the National Operations Centre for Prevention of COVID-19 Outbreak, addressing the media.
As of now, we started off with 2 quarantine centers and we have gone up to 16. And as of today, we got 2,287 to be quarantined, of which 21 were foreigners. And out of these 2,287 at quarantine centers, we got 19 were affected with coronavirus. And importantly, out of this 19, one person who came from UK, others who came from Italy. All these 18 came from Kandakadu Quarantine Center. And one thing what we have to highlight here is that Quarantine Center Kandakadu has got about 13 buildings. These 13 buildings will be divided into 26 parts. And out of these 26 parts, only from 3, all these 18 were found. We are getting few reports to say that some are trying to ill-treat, especially people whom they feel that they have come from Italy also. We don't have to do that. They have come here to visit our lovely, beautiful nation, and thereby we should not have any sort of any harassment or any ill-treatment for them. They are inside hotels. Of course, we would very earnestly request the foreigners who are in the country to curtail your visits or curtail your move here and there. This is not only pertaining to Sri Lanka. This is a world, all countries are facing this. I'm sure that you have come here by knowing it. So we request kindly that to curtail your visits within Sri Lanka so that the chance of you getting affected is minimum and the virus getting spread is also minimum.
Yes, and especially all the officers in charge of police stations have been informed in order to deal with this issue in respect of massage parlors and treatment centers. So they have been informed by the police not to conduct any activity or their services until further notice is given.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Finance stated that all taxes on imported face masks and sanitizers will be removed with effect from midnight today. This decision is taken as per the instruction of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa in helping to contain the spread of COVID-19. Thus, the aforesaid imported goods have been subjected to the Special Commodity Levy Act. Meanwhile, Health Minister Pavitra Wanyarachi said that the government will have to take actions against the former Health Minister Dr. Rajitha Senaratne for making misleading statement over the COVID-19 outbreak. Health Minister Pavitra Wanyarachi, replying to a journalist at the National Operations Centre for Prevention of COVID-19 Outbreaks, said that making wrong statements over the COVID-19 is completely wrong. She assured that only 50 positive cases have been reported and no any other incident, as former Health Minister Rajitha Senaratne mentioned, has happened so far. She also added that the government will have to take actions against him if he is to mislead people with wrong information. Meanwhile, DIG Ajit Rohan also added Police Crime Division have received the so-called video clip as well as another video footage of which former Minister Field Marshal Sarath Fonseca saying about some coronavirus-related deaths. The DIG added that a special police team has already been assigned to investigate on both the cases and the law will be implemented as they arrested 2 individuals who carried fake news on social media. DIG Rohan also thanked the media and general public for assisting to find out the foreigner who was wanted for the quarantine within a number of hours. The Frontline Socialist Party stresses that the impending general election should be postponed concerning the coronavirus fears and rising number of cases in the country. Meanwhile, addressing a media briefing today, its Politburo Pubudu Jagoda elaborated that they will sign the nomination papers for the general election tomorrow. Today's press conference of the Frontline Socialist Party gave priority to the consequences and issues risen from the COVID-19. Party's Politburo Pubudu Jagoda highlighted that the government should take swift actions on the private firms which obligated its workers to report to office despite the declared 3-day mercantile holiday of the country. Jagoda noted that many private firms in Katunayaka had asked their workers to attend the office yesterday and that it is highly risky since Katunayaka Free Trade Zone is not far away from Nigambo and Puttalam, where a majority of Sri Lankan nationals who had returned from Italy in recent days are obligated to undergo self-quarantine. Meanwhile, the Frontline Socialist Party today too reiterated that the Election Commission should not hold the general election on April 25th since large public gatherings and events pertaining to the election will only aggravate the situation of the country. Meanwhile, JVP Chief Secretary Tilvin Silva, addressing a media briefing today, expressed views on the same concern and highlighted that the safety of the society should be of top priority than having the election at this crucial moment. Subsequently, the Frontline Socialist Party and JVP levelled series of criticisms on President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's speech he made yesterday addressing the nation on the pandemic of the country. Addressing the nation yesterday, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa ordered banks and financial institutions to suspend the recovery of loans to businesses for a period of 6 months as the country is combating coronavirus pandemic. The president also said that he would request banks to give working capital loans to businesses at 4% interest rate. Dwelling on these issues, Frontline Socialist Party noted that these concessions are not applied to the general mass but only to the lucrative business groups. Puvudu Jagoda noted that government should come up with a concessionary package to facilitate the daily workers since most of them were severely disturbed by the special holidays declared over these days. Stay tuned for more news after this short break. Welcome back after the break. Central Bank Governor Professor W.D. Lakshman highlights that the financial institutions of the country should not engage in speculative actions which could hamper the equilibrium of the financial market. Governor also said that the CBSL is having discussions with the government to ensure coordinated fiscal and monetary policy responses to alleviate the negative economic impact of COVID-19.
It is good for financial institutions to keep in mind that the revival of business activity in the country is to their own self-interest. We have also requested financial institutions to refrain from engaging in speculative activity which could lead to panic in the financial markets. We are working closely with the government to ensure coordinated fiscal and monetary policy responses to mitigate the economic impact of the pandemic. The well-tested business continuity arrangements of the central bank will be triggered as and when required to prevent any disruption to cash and electronic transactions of the general public and ensure the timely settlement of liabilities of the government and the central bank. We are closely monitoring global and domestic market developments, and further measures will be taken as necessary to mitigate the economic impact of the pandemic.
Property Guru Asia Property Awards Managing Director Jules K emphasizes that Sri Lanka remains as one of the key important markets in South Asian region in terms of property development. He made these observations at the launch of the 4th Property Guru Asia Property Awards Sri Lanka event in Colombo recently. The 4th annual Property Guru Asia Property Awards in Sri Lanka marks the return of Asia's real estate awards program to the island nation, which is in the process of rebuilding after the Easter Sunday attack last year. A black tie gala dinner and awards ceremony celebrating the best of the best properties and developers in and around the nation will take place on the 17th July at the Shangri-La Hotel in Colombo. Competitive categories for the 2020 Property Guru Asia Property Awards Sri Lanka will search for the finest developments in not only the capital Colombo but also the country's southern, central and northeastern provinces.
We launched the Property Guru Asia Property Awards Sri Lanka 2020, which is now the region's largest and most respected real estate series, covering some 15 markets across Asia. And Sri Lanka remains one of our key important markets in terms of property development in the residential, commercial, retail and hospitality sector. We're here to show our commitment to Sri Lanka as a key market. Last year, obviously, with the Easter attacks, there was a slowdown in the property market here, but we still had entries for the regional awards from Sri Lankan developers. And in fact, we also announced one of the best of Asia winners from Sri Lanka last year. So the Sri Lankan market still remains very much one of the key markets in the Asia Property Awards series.
Meanwhile, addressing the same event, Paramount Realty Director and Chief Executive Officer Dr. Nirmal De Silva brought forward the challenges, new trends and future prospects associated with the real estate sector.
I think over the last 2 years, there has been certain emerging pockets within South Asia that has seen considerable demand. So in the commercial real estate segment, we've seen a lot of improvements and a lot of investment savviness in the co-working spaces and the office space requirements. Similarly, affordable housing, affordable apartments have been a talk of the town. We see that in Sri Lanka as well. Typically, apartments less than 20-25 million has had considerable continuous demand even during tough times, because as you know, in Sri Lanka we typically do have a housing problem, and over the next decade we'll continue to have that problem. And the fragmentation of land in Sri Lanka means that you can't continue building single unit dwelling houses units anymore. So do we need luxury apartments? Do we need affordable apartments? It's a debate that we can have on a different day, but definitely we do have this housing issue that requires some type of policy direction, and from a developer perspective, a significant focus as well. And then, just like most of the emerging markets, waterfront properties have seen definitely high traction. Wherever there is water, it tends to sell at a higher price than market.
Former parliamentarian Venerable Athuruliye Ratanathero and Bodubala Sena General Secretary Galagodatte Gnanasaratero joined hands to give leadership to a new political party led by Buddhist monks contesting the forthcoming general election. Addressing a media briefing in Colombo, the duo expressed their plan to contest the elections in some selected districts. Former parliamentarian Venerable Athuruliye Ratanathero told the media that their prime belief is no election should be held at this juncture as the country has faced a severe threat because of the coronavirus. He also criticized the present government and said that nothing has been done good for the country. The Thero also pointed out that it is the Sinhala and Tamil New Year season, and in such an auspicious period, people should not be directed to divide as political party-wise. However, he added that as the government is very keen on going forward with the election, the party named Ape Janabala Pakshaya will be led to become a leading political force at the elections and win at least 20 seats in the parliament. Bodubala Sena General Secretary Galagodate Gnanasara addressing the media said that they had big hopes from this government, but they did not see any sign of keeping those pledges made on stage just before the presidential election. Representatives from several other organizations have joined with the Ratanathero's Vijayadarana Foundation and Gnanasara Thero's Bodubala Sena to give a strong challenge for both the main parties. They, however, said that they had not yet finalized in which districts they would contest, but would be a strong force to win at least 20 parliamentary seats. With that, we are wrapping up today's news. Follow our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel to get the latest news and updates. With that, we are signing out for today and see you tomorrow at the same time. Until then, take care. Goodbye.